So D23 happened. I think it happened. I
Hmm.
don't know if it's still happening because there was like no hubbub around it. It kind of just happened, and then trailers were leaked, and that's it.
Right.
Um, Honestly, it's weird because usually during D23, they also release the trailers. They don't, at least
Hmm.
in my memory, they also release the trailers. But now the trailers have to be leaked because like they just refuse to release them. Like, just give us the goddamn trailers. So
Yeah.
I
Like,
sent two of them to you.
yep.
It was the first one was for Daredevil Born Again, and
Uh-huh.
it looks good. Um, and I
Yeah.
hope that it actually is. We see White Tiger, who is a lesser known hero from Marvel Comics, and this isn't even the most famous person to hold the mantle of White Tiger. So we'll probably see that version of the character eventually. I hate to spoil it, but this version of White Tiger is probably going to die
Oh no.
because he's not the most famous version. So they're probably going to use his death to motivate the other one. uh,
Mhm.
we also see some returning characters. We saw Punisher and Bullseye, played by the same actors. And it's rumored that Elektra will be returning, played by the same actress.
Ooh.
And yeah, this has all the makings of another good Daredevil show. But let's see if they actually stick the landing, because I know early on, and when they were starting to make the show, first and foremost, they just straight up weren't going to bring back any of the actors except the actor who played Daredevil and Kingpin. They
Really?
weren't gonna bring back any of the supporting cast, and then everybody was like, "What the are you talking about, Disney? What is
Right. Like that feels
what is
counterproductive.
the point of bringing in that audience of people who love the Daredevil show on Netflix and saying that this is a continuation of that show, but then recasting the like half of the like majority of the characters except for the lead hero and villain? That's stupid. And then eventually they brought back all the other actors like they should have from the beginning. Um,
Right.
and then apparently the story was going to be stupid, something weird, and
Oh.
then it got rewritten. So it's like, I don't know, man. I hope it's good. I hope ultimately all those changes result in something good
Hmm.
rather than something messy. Uh,
Yeah.
but we also got a leak of the Thunderbolts trailer. I
Ooh.
didn't particularly care for this movie, but after seeing the trailer,
Hmm.
this might be the actual Winter Soldier successor as opposed to
Oh.
Captain America 4. So after
Hmm.
finding out this movie was full of characters with the same skill set and backstory, everybody was concerned, including me. But it seems like that may make for a great story. It's just another case of, sure, it might ultimately turn out to be good, but this isn't really the Thunderbolts like what the Thunderbolts is in the comics. In the comics, the Thunderbolts is basically like the evil Avengers. But in this one, it's just a bunch of super soldiers and super spies and assassins, all with the
Hmm.
exact same skill sets. Um, Fighting like forming a team together by like the U.S. government. But writers from The Bear and the Netflix show Beef are working on it, so that has me
Oh.
real interested because both of those shows are great. Uh, which Stephen Yeun was actually supposed to play a character in this movie named the Sentry. The Sentry is basically one out of three of Marvel's Superman equivalents.
Hmm.
Um, but now he's being played by Lewis Pullman, who I've seen in Top Gun Maverick. It'll be interesting to see how these super soldiers, assassins, and spies deal with one of Marvel's most powerful characters.
Hmm.
I feel like that's an interesting dichotomy. I wonder how that'll work. He also has a wild story in the comics that I wonder how much of that they'll adapt. Um, the costume design in this movie sucks ass.
Mm.
I didn't think it could get much worse. In fact, I thought they were getting better, but good God,
Hmm.
no, they are not. The costumes
Oh.
look bad. The hair and makeup, well, the makeup looks fine. The hair, bad. I don't know who decided for these haircuts on half these characters. It just doesn't like the costumes just look bad, except for U.S. Agent because he has the exact same costume he had in
Hmm.
in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was a good costume. It's just the same costume except the blue parts are now black, and it looks good.
Right.
Everybody else's costume sucks. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It looks good. I hope it's good. I want to see it. I think it's supposed to be out next year. Oh, I think that makes sense.
Hmm.
If they're going to show a trailer for a movie, it's probably coming out next year.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, a bunch of Well, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, a bunch of like concept art for like some of the costumes came out, and specifically
Ooh.
Wolverine, and I'm upset because this happens every time. This happens every time. Just don't release concept art because it's always gonna make people angry. They always make concept art that looks so comic accurate, but for some reason the final design is always ass, man. What's the name of the concept artist I follow? I can't remember because I follow Andy Park. As soon as I opened my phone, I got concept art for Deadpool Wolverine. That's hilarious. I'm gonna send you a post from Andy Park that
Okay.
that has a Wolverine costume design, like the main one, that we see in the trailers, and yeah, it's you're gonna be upset when you see this because don't follow him, at least not yet, because
Okay.
you'll get spoiled in the movie.
Spoilers. Right.
But I'm gonna send you this Instagram post because it's absolutely insane. Look at this costume and then like it's
See.
look at that. Because here's the thing: you see the stripes, the tiger stripes, and they look like
Right.
actual stripes instead of these like obscure, vague looking things that they were doing before. And imagine this without the sleeves. Oh my god, it would be so good. Like, why do they always choose the worst versions every single time? Without
no clue.
It's so weird. I don't understand why they do this, but yeah, you need to see that movie. I've seen it twice now. I was supposed to see it the third time, but I didn't.
I watch it. Trust.
So